being foolish. So I'ma show you what the truth is. It's only you, it's only you, it's only you. I'm not always there when you call.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know who I am, my name is Corinne Gonisha, and today, as you can tell by the title, we are going to be talking about dark feminine energy and how you can tap into it. So let's get started. First things first, what is dark feminine energy? Why do you want to tap into dark feminine energy? And yeah, let's just get into that. So dark feminine energy is the shadow aspect of womanhood. So nowadays you see everyone talking about the soft life, you know, stepping into your higher self, but no one talks about the ugly side. Or actually, no, I'm not even gonna call it the ugly side, because I don't look at it as the ugly side. I feel like this is a side of you that you need to tap into in order to really get to where you want to be, right? And it's really important, like I just said, because this is another way for you to get to where you want to be. But it's also really important because this is a time where you look at yourself and you're like, okay, I'm accepting me for all of my flaws, you know, and I'm changing the ones that I really want to change. And some of the flaws that I may have seen as flaws, they're not really flaws. So this is one of those things, right? Number one, you want to make sure that you are connecting with your sacred cycle. Now, ladies, listen. I'm one person where I hate getting my period. But honestly, the more I started reading about it and, you know, learning more things about my cycle and about my period, the more I'm realizing how much I actually am grateful that I have it, you know? When it comes to your period, I'm pretty sure every woman who's watching this video, we all have such a negative relationship, mainly because it's like, we're in pain, or it's like, damn, I'm bleeding for 4 or 5 days, some people a week, some people 2 weeks, you know, everybody's kind of different. But what people don't realize is that's when you're connecting to the earth, you know, like it's time for your body to purge, it's time for your body to get rid of the toxins that are inside of it. You know, it's just a time for your body to purge. Number two, be with Mother Nature. It's really important while you're going through your dark feminine stage, really any stage of your life, but specifically your dark feminine stage, is to connect with Mother Earth. Meaning, go outside, take your shoes off, take your socks off, and put your feet on the ground. Recommend that you do that, so that way you can really tap in with Mother Earth, especially Black women, because we are, you know, creatures of nature. I'm not sure if a lot of you knew that. I will be, you know, going into depth with that on different videos. But yeah, definitely make sure you guys are connecting within yourself with Mother Earth. Make sure you're taking those necessary steps to sit outside and touch the ground. And I mean the grass ground, the ground with dirt, not the sidewalk, not your porch, not your patio, the ground with grass, okay? Not the lakes, not the beach, the grass. Go in nature, okay? You could be by water, but make sure you are sitting on grass, okay? Number three, you wanna make sure you are journaling daily. I always tell people to journal when you're going through your, really in life. Like a lot of these things that I'm telling you guys are something that you should just do in general, but specifically for dark feminine energy, I definitely recommend you journaling every day, because when you're getting into your dark feminine energy side and you're learning yourself more, you know, you're doing, well, I'll say that for the next tidbit, but you want to just make sure that you are journaling, because any feeling can come up, right? And whether it's a sad feeling, happy feeling, or whatever the case may be that you're journaling, you want to make sure that you are writing that down so you could go back and look at it after you're done, like, okay, this is how I feel. Why do I feel this way? Now that I know this is how I feel because of this, you might be journaling about something that happened 15 years ago, right? That's fine though, because now you could go back and say, you know what? This is how I felt on that day. This is why I felt that way. This is how I can heal from it, right? When you write things down, you're more able to figure out how to maneuver around it, okay? Number 4, you need to practice self-love and self-care. And I don't mean just getting your nails done. I don't mean just getting your lashes done. I don't mean just getting your hair done. You want to be practicing self-love on a daily basis and all the time, really, okay? So, for instance, there's a lot of things about myself that I realized I didn't really like, you know? And instead of sitting here and being a Debbie Downer about it, you know what I did? I decided to accept it, right? And self-love is really all about self-acceptance. And I think a lot of people miss that step in self-love, and they think it's, oh, let me just tell myself 50 times a day that I love myself. Like, no, that's not really self-love. Like, it's a form of self-love and self-care, but it's not the thick of it, right? Self-love is really something that you want to do when you're realizing, you know what, there's things about myself that I don't like. I'm gonna change these things, or I'm gonna accept the fact that, hey, you know what, I don't like that I'm a bitch, but let me tell you why I like that I'm a bitch. Let me accept the fact that that's who I am, because if I wasn't that, then I would get ran over. Or, you know, it's just really about accepting who you are as a person. Number 5, you need to heal your womb. Listen, for all my women out there who've had children, had miscarriages, had abortions, been raped, been molested, you know, sexually assaulted in general, anything, whether it's been positive, you know, having a baby, or, you know, negative, miscarriage, rape, sexual, you know, things happen to you. It's really important to heal your womb. And it's really important to talk to your womb and, you know, do spiritual baths and do ceremonies. And I'm not saying no crazy ceremonies like get one eyeball and 3 fingers and 10 fingers. I'm not saying nothing like that, right? You set the tone to what you want. For me, I will actually be posting a video before this one to show you guys exactly what type of wound healing ceremony that I do for my wound, just because I have experienced some things that I've literally previously mentioned. So I'm trying to get that relationship back with my womb, you know? But having that connection with your womb, because let me tell you something, ladies, if you guys didn't know, yes, we are amazing, yes, we are everything, but our womb is us, okay? Without our womb, we wouldn't even be a woman, okay? Our womb deals with so much stuff, okay? You deal with miscarriages, abortions, pregnancies, rape, molestation. You deal with so much where you can become detached from it and when I mean detached, it's like you could become overly sexual, you know, or you can have that relationship where you're not sexual at all. Like you don't care about your womb, you know, or, you know, if you've had a miscarriage, you know, you don't trust your womb to properly hold a baby. If you just had a child and, you know, you and your child, like, obviously your child's a blessing, but it's like, you might not have had your child with who you want to have your child with. You might have not have had your child when you want to have your child. So that's why I think it's important for you to just create a super good relationship with your womb, so that way you can heal from that, learn from that, and pass down to the next generation how to keep a good relationship with your womb. Number 6, you have to meet your shadow self. Now, when you're in your dark feminine energy, it's really a lot about shadow work. A lot of it is shadow work. A lot of it is looking at yourself and seeing the things that you never really knew you had a problem with. Like for me growing up, I've always been a person where I never really depended on no one. Well, once I was like, 12, 13, my parents divorced. And when I tell you that time of my life, I had to depend on myself. You know, like my dad was never there for a good appointed time, you know, because of things he was dealing with. My mom was off with her boyfriend. You know, my sister was gone. My brother was in and out of jail. My oldest sister was gone. So I was in the house alone, you know, like a lot. And it made me realize how much I have to depend on myself, right? And that's one thing about me to this day that bothers me, is that I'm so dependent on myself, where I don't like asking for help. I don't like letting people in to help me because I'm so used to people not being there, you know? So that's the part of my shadow self that I'm working on to figure out, why do I feel like this? Like, what is the exact emotion that I'm feeling that makes me feel as if I don't want help from nobody, you know? And obviously, like I said, I basically explained to you guys why I felt that way, but it's deeper than that. It's deeper than just saying, oh, I felt this way because of this, you know? But it's like, what about that made you feel some type of way? You know, what can you do to fix that, right? So shadow work is definitely a big. Number 7, meditate. Now, this is a great time to meditate outside, you know, so that way you can connect with the earth, okay? But meditating, you want to make sure that you're meditating daily. You know, I'm trying now to meditate for at least 30 to 40 minutes a day. Some days I've been successful, some days I haven't been successful, but I am really trying to meditate more, just so that way I can really get in tune with my inner self and talk to myself and talk to my ancestors, talk to my spirit guide. Number 8, and this is gonna be the final one. You wanna make sure that you're being open with yourself, okay? You wanna make sure that when you feel something, you feel it, right? Sometimes we get around people, we get around friends, boyfriends, families, cousins, co-workers, whatever. You get around these people and you possibly can feel like, man, I feel some type of way. But instead of saying something and being real with yourself and being open with yourself and understanding what you're feeling, you push it aside. And now you're kind of side-eyeing people like, you know? So it's like, you really want to make sure that you're being open with yourself. And then also realizing sometimes you're not right? Like, be open with yourself enough to have these uncomfortable conversations with yourself. Like, I'm not where I want to be, and this is why I'm not where I want to be, you know? And being open to hearing other people's opinions too, because that also really matters. I know a lot of people feel like other people's opinions don't matter, but it does. It really does. Certain opinions don't matter, so don't be taking every opinion. But a lot of opinions do matter. Like, for instance, if 15 people are saying you're a stuck-up bitch, you might be a stuck-up ass bitch, okay? Like, let's just be real. Be open to hearing things about yourself, so that way you can teach yourself, okay, people say I come off this way. Let me go through my behavior to see how it is that I come off that way, right? So you just want to make sure you are being super open with yourself. All right, guys, so that's the end of this video. I hope that you guys liked it. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And again, matter of fact, y'all better subscribe. Turn on the bell notifications. We're going to have more videos like this. This is just part 1 of this dark feminine phase that I'm going through. And I will be having a womb cleaning video coming up right after this. See you guys in the next one.